Fascinate has a date with destruction. Primarily because I don't like this C that is input into Fascinate. Makes the word kind of awkward for me, seems a little redundant as well. Additionally, even though they're not the same word, the start of Fascinate sounds very similar to Trapelt, which I changed as in Trapelt your seatbelt. Haha. And I figured I could probably move Fascinate in line with that word, even though they're not the same, but it's kind of like you're trapelting someone's attention when you fascinate them. And I also learned that kind of the roots of Fascinate also has to do with what snakes do in basically destroying their victims' will to live or even try to escape and just completely trapping them in that sense. So anything that's like related to a snake in any way is deserving of death and destruction. So Fascinate gets that treatment now that I know of that additional meaning. What it's going to be going to is Trapelate, because we have the Trapelt change that I made. This is basically that exact word, chopping off the T at the end of Trapelt and having the 8 ending of Fascinate. Maybe not my most trepalating change that I've ever had, but you know, when you've done this for 284 straight days, sometimes you need something a little bit more simple that's not gonna just destroy your already destroyed brain and try to do complicated stuff. Let's go to Whip's picks, huh? Song of the day is Still Dre, if it was by Hans Zimmer, which is actually created by MusicalBasics Performance. So you essentially get a lavuliful piano, Still Dre beat, but it has so many different layers put into it with intense drama and great building, and I think that this instrumental is fantastic. Takes one of the greatest hip-hop beats of all time and probably improves it a fair amount in my opinion. And if you're familiar with Hans Zimmer, well you are, whether you know you are or not, but makes amazing soundtrack music. It makes it even more interesting to listen to from that perspective. Then for the video of the day, I have the most sus Chris Collinsworth quote that I just didn't think this was possible, that he could have said this. It's like a dating segment that they did when he was still a player, which I'm guessing was maybe 40 years ago. I'm not certain the exact era Collinsworth played in, but this is obviously a very old video, and he's far from a young man now. And if he were to say the things that he says in this interview now, he would not have a job in television whatsoever. The most damning quote in here is how he likes dumb girls. He really likes high school girls. Like 14 to 18, they're starting to get a little too old because they know that there's better out there and you can't trick them. Like some real rough stuff said in this, and just a different time in the world. And it's crazy to see someone who's like basically the face of the NFL as far as commentating goes and covering the game, and it's just a crazy thing to hear. That's it for Whip's Picks. Peace out.